In this lecture, we will go over the 6 AI operators that you need to know for the exam. We will begin with a mnemonic device to help you remember these. And the AI operators include providers, deployers, distributors, importers, product manufacturers, and authorized representatives. The mnemonic device to help you remember the 6 operators is Professor Duck diligently investigates peculiar artifacts. And when I was creating the image here, I was thinking about an archaeologist professor, someone like Indiana Jones. And if you're unfamiliar with Indiana Jones, well, you're probably a pretty young person. So I'm showing my age here a little bit. So what is a provider? A provider is the most heavily regulated operator of the 6 that we're looking at. They are responsible for developing the AI system or GPAI model, or they have had one developed on their behalf. In order for the provider obligations to kick in, the AI system must be on the market or in service. A deployer is an individual or organization that uses the AI system under its authority. So the deployer may have procured a system from a provider, and now they are using it, they are implementing it under their authority. An importer is an individual or organization established in the European Union who places an AI system on the EU market. With the importer, the system or model bears the name or trademark of the originating individual or organization based in a third country. The distributor is an individual or organization that makes an AI system available in the EU, and this is important, as a follow-on action to importation and placement on the market. So if you think about it, before you can distribute a product, you must first import it. So the distributor will always be a follow-on action to importation. Now, this one is a bit confusing, and so I've outlined the 3 different scenarios here concerning a product manufacturer. With a product manufacturer, if you are solely a product manufacturer, then there are no EU AI Act obligations that apply to you or your organization. The obligations kick in when a product manufacturer becomes a provider or becomes a deployer. I know this is confusing, but if you really think about it, let's say that you've developed a system, but you have not deployed it. It is pre-deployment. Well, if you've developed a system, but no one is using it, no obligations apply. The obligations only apply once that system is deployed. And once that system is deployed, depending on how you have deployed it and where you fall in the AI supply chain, you will become either a provider or a deployer and hence cease becoming a product manufacturer. Again, you become a provider or a deployer when you put the system on the market or you operationalize that system or model together with your own product. Finally, and this is probably the most straightforward of all of the AI operators, an authorized representative is a natural or legal person that is located in the EU, and they have received a mandate from the AI system or GPAI model provider to carry out the provider obligations. And as we'll see later on, those obligations include providing technical documentation, answering questions, etc., etc. Again, we'll come back to these in more specifics later on. A final note, multiple roles may apply to an operator. For example, provider and deployer. Similarly, one AI system or model can have multiple providers. For example, a system originates with one organization, they are the provider. A deployer then takes that system and makes substantial modifications to the system. If those modifications are substantial enough, that deployer now becomes the next provider. Now, I would be surprised if you got really specific technical questions like that on the exam, but know that this is possible. There's a lot of nuance. This is a brand new statute, And these types of issues are going to be working their way through the courts as more guidance comes out and so forth. In this lecture, we have gone over the 6 different AI operators that you need to know for the exam. Remember that the provider is the most heavily regulated. They develop the AI system or GPAI model, or they have one developed on their behalf. An AI system must be on the market or in service for the obligations to kick in. A deployer is an individual or organization that uses an AI system under its authority. An importer is an individual or organization that is located or established in the EU and places an AI system on the EU market. That system, however, will continue to bear the name and trademark of the individual or organization based in the third country. A distributor makes an AI system available in the EU as a follow-on action to importation. Remember that phrase and connect it with distributor. A product manufacturer manufactures the product, but when it places the AI system on the market or operationalizes it together with its own product, the provider or deployer obligations apply. Finally, an authorized representative is a natural or legal person located in the EU. They receive a mandate from the AI system or model provider to carry out provider obligations.